Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter, and again, I'm talking right now about negotiating. I want to give you a couple more tips and a couple more techniques, and this one is so basic, but it is amazing the power that you win off of this. Now, let me set this up before I share with you what it is. Negotiation does not have to occur over one meeting at one time. Many times the best negotiations occur over several meetings, several periods of time. And the key that you want to keep in mind is, how do you gain the point of leverage? And the best way to gain the point of leverage is by you being the one to take notes. Here's what happens. Many times what happens is, if you be the first one to take notes, and what this means is this starts off in the selling process. Now, if you've been following me at all, you'll know that I very much am a strong advocate of sell first and negotiate second. In other words, I never try to negotiate when I'm trying to sell. Because what happens is I can't begin to negotiate unless I've failed at selling. Now, that doesn't mean I failed at selling, no, because the selling is all about identifying the needs and the benefits of what the customer is looking for. But one of the things I've been doing during this phase is taking notes. I want the customer to see me taking notes. I want to have the customer be engaged with me. Now, if you're doing this over the telephone, and of course negotiating over the telephone is not optimal, but sometimes you have to do it. It still means that what you do have the ability to do is to recap and send back to them in an email, in a note, some sort. Get it back in front of them. I can't emphasize this enough, because if I can be the one that takes notes, what will happen is I gain the upper hand. And then I can recap first. And when I mean recap first, I mean recap instantaneously. If I'm a salesperson and I've gone out to meet with a customer at their location, I'm going to recap the notes literally in the parking lot of their business. And I'm going to recap the notes and I'm going to email it back to them quickly. I want to be the first one to recap the notes. Now, here's a couple key things. I'm going to recap the notes as I saw them, as I heard them, as I feel they are. Okay, this is very important. I'm going to position the notes back to them the way I feel they are. This gives me the controlling hand in terms of the follow-up and going into the next negotiation. And the way I start this process is by I be the first one in the meeting to be taking notes. And I be the first one to recap back to them quickly in an email what I heard, what I saw, what I feel, and more importantly, what I see as the next steps. And let me just jump on that for just a moment. What are the next steps? Never send back recap notes without putting in place what you see as the next steps. This does not necessarily mean you put into the notes what you have agreed upon up to that point. Because once you put something into writing that you've agreed upon, it becomes locked in stone. So I will hesitate in putting onto a piece of paper what I've agreed upon, but I will not hesitate to put onto a piece of paper what I believe the next steps are, because this keeps it proactively moving forward to be able to where I can reach that negotiated settlement that works for me and works for you, the customer. Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. Check out the website. Check out all the videos. Drop me a line. Love to hear from you. Great selling.